Hey guys, it's Elder08 here with the first episode of Dat Podcast. Can I get a woo from everyone?
Man.
Woo! Alright. First and foremost, we noticed we did not have like an explanation video on the channel. So, what we're gonna do is just a little tiny segment in this podcast. We'll just little tiny one devoted to what the shit is. Combustive is our team leader, and I think it would be great if he was the first person to talk. Let's do this, Combustive.
Alright, well, basically I created the channel for the clan. We have somewhat of, I think 100 members, upwards of that, and I was hoping that we could get people that were involved in the clan, regulars on the server, stuff like that, recording gameplay, recording commentaries, recording reviews, and posting them on the YouTube channel. And so far we have, I know Cardboard's done one, Zach and Andar have done one, Shizuka's done one. I'm working on one, just because my computer's shit. And
me and Andar have collectively done more than one.
Oh,
and
well,
Cardboard too.
Two. I'm sorry. But you've done videos, and that's what it's for.
Thank you.
So, it really can be anything. So if anybody's watching this and wants to join the clan, get involved, and actually do some shit, that'd be great.
That would be fantastic.
Since when did we have 100 members? It's sort of new to me.
Yeah, I don't know where the statistic is coming from.
The Steam group like has like 100 and something members. Let me check really quick.
Holy shit.
I believe you.
League of Extraordinary Mental Gin. 115.
Wow!
Yeah.
Saw them burn play on the Dusty server.
Try to get them all on. Yeah, let's do that.
It's all those fucking bronies that are always on our server.
Alright, roll call. I'm gonna call out your names and you tell yourself a little bit about your self. Bill.
Well, my name is Bill. I am heavily autistic. I play both Dwarf Fortress and Team Fortress 2.
At the same time?
Usually, yeah.
Sorry.
And I'm not too good at video games. I believe that they're for children.
Okay, Andrew.
So, my name is Andrew, or Andar. When I'm not being antisocial, I'm playing video games and trying to forget about my problems. And I also pretend to be a game journalist on their channel.
Okay, Mike.
Hi, I'm Combustive, Mike, whatever. I go by a lot of different
Kike.
Faggot.
Yeah, Kike, Faggot, Dick Sucker, just
Jew.
Occasional nicknames. I just heavily play TF2 and a lot of other Source games since they're not too heavy on my computer. And I lead the LOEM clan into battle weekly.
And he's a casual.
Yeah, I'm just a filthy casual.
Okay, and I'm Zach, aka Elder08, and you might have seen my segments. I do pissed and not pissed reviews. The pissed ones being the angry ones, and the not pissed ones being the kind of angry ones.
It's like AVGN, only less angry.
And less good.
But more angry at the same time.
I love him. Okay, so, I'm kind of like today's host, and I do have a topic for us today. LOEM Clan, are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
No. I guess I am.
Okay, we are doing the future of gaming.
Goodness
me!
Alright, well, I guess I'll start off this one.
Faggot.
I know, I kind of talked to Billy and Zach about this one the other day, but also want to get a bit more opinion on it. But somebody mentioned to me that tablet gaming, as in iPad, I don't know names of other ones, but tablet gaming is going to wipe out PC gaming because PCs are becoming obsolete as compared to tablets. Personally, I think they're full of shit.
That's one person who said that. That was Hardy that said that.
Yeah,
something.
I don't know if there's any differing opinions, but like tablets, yeah, they're getting more processing speed, getting more RAM, getting better graphics. but you can't game on one necessarily.
It's mostly like casual flash games, stuff like that. Well, not on the iPad, obvious reasons, but it's the same concept.
There are quality games on the iOS stuff though. Like they ported some GTA games on there and Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger, and I do see it at some point becoming a competitor with other gaming things.
Yeah,
but particularly helps.
There's
if
also
you're gonna
always,
wipe out anything, it's gonna be that.
There's also always like the whole emulation thing.
Yeah.
There's some of the things I've seen coming off of it are actually original games by big game companies. Like Square is making a new Final Fantasy game, which is a tribute to the retro ones, like 1 through 6. And it's exclusively iOS.
Wow.
And it looks fantastic. The graphics look great. The gameplay looks good. It's a throwback. It looks really neat. And I think they have potential as casual gaming devices. Not saying that's a bad thing necessarily, but they're not really going to rank up with gaming PCs or...
It's like the next Wii.
Yeah, the next Wii has some promise too, Mike, which we'll get into that in a second.
Oh, the Wii U? I don't know.
Have you looked into it?
A bit.
It
seems
neat.
No, I'm not saying iOS gaming is gonna be like the Wii U. I'm saying iOS will be the new like Wii. When Wii came out, it was more of a casual gaming console. It wasn't meant for serious. Well, no, it really wasn't meant for serious like hardcore gamers.
Well, what Nintendo's always tried to do is they kind of try to get you in with their gimmicky stuff, like when they had Rob on the NES and like the Super Scope on the SNES, and like they try to get you in with that stuff, but then they also cater to the hardcore fans with games like Super Mario Galaxies, and 2 Zelda games were on there, and they were amazing.
That's true.
Well, technically, one was just ported.
Well, yeah, one was ported.
That was back when video gaming was still sort of a niche market. Nowadays, it's pretty mainstream.
It was getting mainstream at that point, and I think the Wii actually had a big play in getting it mainstream. All the families having just Wiis in their living room. People would play like Wii with their grandma.
Yeah, and Wii Fit.
It all started with the PS2 because how popular the PS2 was.
Oh yeah.
I think it all started because of the NES and the Atari, because the Atari...
I think it started with Space Wars or whatever that thing was called.
I think it all started with Space Wars and Stanford University.
I thought gaming started with Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, obviously, true gaming started with Call of Duty.
We're supposed to be talking about the
Modern Warfare 2, not Modern Warfare 1. That was the worst game in the series, obviously.
Okay, so guys, I have a topic question on our next gen of gaming. The 3DS and the PS Vita have not been talked about as much as I want them to be fucking talked about, man. Not a lot of people, even Sony and Nintendo themselves, aren't giving these consoles a lot of attention. What do you guys think? What's their potential?
Well, like I said, if the iOS is going to take anything out, it's the handhelds, and I think that that's really pushing into their market. That's me.
Yeah.
My brother has a PS Vita. It's really nice. I haven't played it, but it looks really cool. That's all I can say.
Well, if it's anything like the PSP, despite like not having a good launch and a good support, was actually a pretty fucking cool system.
The same thing with the Vita. Like how I went over to my friend Caleb's. I played his Vita because we're all PC gamers. Yeah. We all play our PCs. That's just a given. But I went to play his PS Vita. I was like, handheld gaming is going to be something that's going to be really close to me when I get older, because it seems like I could get on there, play Uncharted or Marvel vs. Capcom for about 5 minutes, have my gaming for the day on like my way to work, and then be perfectly fine for the rest of the day.
It's also good for whenever you want to game on the go, like while you're driving.
Yeah.
It fits nicely in your hands while you're holding the steering wheel. It's pretty comfortable.
Also, what they're doing with the Vita is, like you said about the iOS, it seems like the Vita, they're trying to make it a phone almost. Like, it has 3G, you can Skype on it.
Wow.
It's awesome. That's awesome.
Already tried that?
Yeah, but we all know how that worked. Okay, 3DS.
I've personally heard it's actually pretty cool. Like, in reference to old games that everybody loves, like Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and just older games that kind of brought a lot of people into gaming, being remade on the 3DS, and it's kind of like a whole new, better experience.
That's kind of like what I said with the whole getting older thing. Like, you're not gonna have enough time for games when you have a family and a job and all the shit that you have going on.
That's what you think.
So, like, instead of all this hardcore gaming we do nowadays, we might be casuals. You know, you never know. And we're gonna be playing the 3DS, and we're gonna be like, I want to play fucking Zelda right now because I used to play that when I was a wee lad.
I see that happening to me pretty quickly.
Same
and
here.
I wasn't a filthy casual.
Alright, so is that all the opinions on the handhelds for next gen?
Well, I've honestly never cared for the whole 3D aspect of the 3DS.
Me neither.
You get
It's
car
like
sickness though, don't you, Billy?
Yeah.
Also on the PS Vita, like I was at Walmart a couple days ago and I was looking at the games they had, and there really wasn't that big of a selection. There was like Uncharted and a Resistance game, and that was it.
Just like the PS3.
Sony's problem with launching consoles is they're retarded and they don't know how to fucking, like, I think the greatest thing I saw on there was like Uncharted and Persona 4 port, and
Honestly?
maybe Metal Gear Solid.
Honestly, Sony has had some really good games, just they're so obscure and they're so like, they're not major launch titles. Like with Microsoft, you can expect Halo. Like automatically, that's a known name across the gaming world. Everybody expects Halo. Everybody knows that name. Whereas there are some games like Resistance, someone mentioned. I've played it. Yeah, it's a really good game, but you say Resistance and not everybody knows what you're talking about. Same with Uncharted. Just, they've never been like a major household gaming name. So they haven't had that big of titles.
No, well, they used to. Most of them were third parties and they switched over, like Crash Bandicoot and Metal Gear.
Back in the day.
Metal Gear, though, is still kind of one of their cash cows. You know that, all the remakes and stuff. A lot of them still sell more on Sony consoles than any other consoles.
Yeah, and gamers now that used to play Metal Gear back in the day, who are fanboys of it, are always going to buy the next game no matter what.
Fanboys.
Fanboys. It's not a bad
Yep.
thing.
Okay, so here's something that I know we all hope to God happens, but Valve entering this console race. Do you think this is a potential thing with the
God, I hope so.
with the new whole TV deal they have going on where we can play our games on our TV? It seems like they're trying to cross over there. Literally walk across my room, Gabe Newell. I'll let you do it.
I love how good Valve penis tastes like, but I honestly don't see him making a console. I see him making some sort of platform like Netflix. Well, it would be Steam. Only it would be you'd be able to pretty much play Steam on your TVs, much like you can with Netflix and such.
Well, they're actually starting an external beta sometime in October, and I know I'm actually really keeping an eye out for it. It's going to be for Ubuntu 12.04 and up.
Shit.
And it's going to be Steam for Ubuntu. And of course, they're going to have... Hold on, let me go to it right now. The private external...
Microphone
Give me a minute.
activated. Microphone muted. Microphone
Okay, sorry about
activated.
that. The private external beta will include Steam, one Valve game, and support for Ubuntu. So they're already starting to enter the Linux market and get into different operating systems. Like, they've already moved over to Mac, and of course they started out on Windows. But this console, I actually know quite a few people are excited for it, because there are a lot of games that they have on Steam, and personally I have a couple, like Borderlands 2 and Brink, and I cannot play them for crap.
That's the problem I'm hearing from a lot of the more hardcore PC gamers. They have, their super gaming computers they built to fucking hell and back, and they're just monsters, and they're just like, Well, I love Valve and I love Steam, but I'm not gonna buy my fucking games twice. Like they don't. They're like, there's no point in me having a second PC over there on my TV when I can just play it on my PC.
That's true. Yeah. But like in the case of some people who use laptops for gaming, whereas we like the portable aspect of it, we can keep our console PC at home, and we can take our laptop with us, so we can still game on the go.
Just fucking play laptop while you're driving.
Billy has the best ideas.
Andar, what do you think about all this?
I haven't even heard of it.
Oh,
I haven't been
no.
paying attention lately.
It's just the only thing that the console speculation is coming off of. They haven't confirmed or denied anything, but they've been hiring hardware people, and they did confirm that some of the hardware people are actually looking into headgear, like virtual reality shit, which would be badass. Now that it's not the Virtual Boy era, and we'd actually be able to do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
From my really simple research here, it just seems like it's just displaying Steam on your TV.
Oh, we have that already exists. That's something that they put in with Steam recently as a beta.
Well, don't listen to Andrew, everyone. Lesson learned.
Okay, so
right now.
I have one more topic for the until we move on to our next discussion, and that would be what do you think Fuck Valve. No, I love Valve. What do you think Microsoft and Sony is doing? They haven't really released anything other than that they're working on new consoles. And Sony decided to drop that stupid ass bombshell they call the PS3 Slim.
I think Xbox might try to move in. No, I don't know. Somebody kind of rumored this a long time ago to me. That Microsoft might try to move into the handheld game, and I'm not exactly sure what to think of that, but it's looks like another contender maybe. But honestly, I don't know what they're gonna do for the next console. We have way too many consoles.
We don't have enough consoles.
We need a Sega.
We need a Sega 2012.
Sega. Okay,
Sega.
Sega. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, with Microsoft, did anyone see their E3 presentation?
No.
I like to pretend I didn't.
Yeah, their biggest thing that they were going over, they showed some really badass Halo 4 stuff, but other than that, they showed something called Microsoft Smart Glass, and it's literally the most boring and uninteresting video game related thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Right now.
It is literally the ability to connect your Xbox to your Android fucking device. There's no point in it. There's points, I'm sure, but they're just not great enough to make an entire E3 speech about. And I'm hoping to God that that's not what they're trying to do with their next console. It's make that a main point.
It's not a console. It's looking like you're turning your Android into the controller.
Yeah, that's the fucking.
That's what it is.
What?
Yeah.
So stupid.
I heard somewhere that Microsoft was getting into the iPhone type thing, so that when they actually do that, their stuff would connect with it better or something.
They do have the Windows phones with the Windows OS on
Yes, that
phones.
thing.
Yeah.
So,
And Windows 8 really goes for tablets and phones.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that Microsoft and Sony, more particularly Microsoft, are trying to turn their consoles, as we can see they've already been doing, into entertainment systems in general instead of just video game consoles. Like smart glass, Netflix, but all of this stuff can already be done on your computer and actually most HD TVs. And so I think if they're going to keep doing that, they're eventually going to run into problems with actually competing with TVs themselves.
That's the thing with the new PlayStation 4 thing that I've heard about, how they're trying to they're making this awesome processor and stuff, but the quality of your TV is gonna have to be just ridiculous in order to play it.
That's what I look for in a TV, a good processor.
So Sony themselves are making like a badass TV, so you can buy your badass PS4 and play it on that badass TV. It'll be badass, but it'll probably run you a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this discussion's wrapped up, and we have one more thing we are going to talk about. Is everyone ready? Drum roll, please! It is our dead genre of the week, survival horror. Let's do this shit.
Resident
we're
Evil
doing the
6.
weekly? That's...
What a great fucking day to start this, because Resident Evil 6 came out today, everybody, and it sucked. It wasn't good at all, and it totally ruined one of my favorite horror series of all time.
To be fair, I don't think any of you played it yet.
We haven't played it, but dude, just from looking at it, I don't even want to play it. So
Yeah.
The game is so
Yeah, I was
scary.
looking at it earlier.
the game is so scary. I don't even want to play it.
Its terribleness is half the horror.
But
I'm scared of the shitty quality.
but as many of you know, I'm a super horror buff. I love old horror films. I love survival horror games, like most of the classic ones. And I know they were broken games with their tank controls and the pre-rendered backgrounds. But there were games like Silent Hill 2. That's still like the top of people's top games. Like that's number one for a lot of people, just because it's such a good game and such a good genre.
Yeah.
And it's dying. What do you guys think? Why is it dying? You think it's that Call of Duty swag?
I think there have been a lot of good games in survival horror. I mean, there have been a lot of great games, but unfortunately, people these days, it's like the same reason why a lot of other genres are dying out. Because the new generation of gaming isn't the kids that grew up on RPGs and adventure games and fantasy games like we did. It's kids who are growing up on Call of Duty and Halo and a lot of first-person shooters. So, yeah.
Well, Mike, if you think about it, we kind of grew up on Halo. I mean, like, from age about 10 on.
Yeah, but that was later. I mean, the first game I ever remember playing is, like, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on NES.
Hell yeah.
I just
Double Dragon on Sega Master System.
Bill, what's yours?
Let me think.
Come on! Billy.
I honestly can't think. It must have been something like Link to the Past or something on the SNES.
Yeah, mine was A Link to the Past on the SNES, and I can say that just stuck with me for the rest of my life. Like, that's best game ever.
We appreciate most of these new games. Like, we think these games are great. The thing is, though, the spread of genres, the spread of games across genres are changing. There's a lot more first-person shooters and shoot-'em-ups and button mashers than there ever were.
I'm taking my fingers and I'm pointing them all in a fist at Call of Duty and Battlefield for taking
just continuing
the entire population of gaming and just shoving them into a shooter hole. And I'm like, come on, guys, there's really artistic games. We got Bastion, we got Silent Hill 2, check this shit out. And they're like, dude, fight me IRL, quick scopes, let's do this shit one-on-one. I'm like, oh no.
Well, it's like I said earlier, the same people who are heavily involved in games like Call of Duty and Battlefield 3, chances are if they were their same age, only in the 1980s, they wouldn't be playing video games at all. They would, be doing 1980s stuff. It's just the niche market has been sort of dwarfed by, by the mainstream side of video games.
I mean, the only positive I get from all this, and we're straying a little bit from survival horror, but that's okay because it's still related, is the market's bigger now. There's a lot more chances, honestly, for indie developers, because hardcore gamers like all of us, we're just looking for something original, and when we see it, we grab the fuck out of it and we buy it.
Yeah, Call of Duty is basically a business. Making the game isn't the company
They don't
wanting
love it
to
because they love
contribute to
making
the
games.
whole gaming culture. It's just them wanting to make money.
Like when I
That's
discovered.
another problem as our industry develops, is
I
that
mean,
people
Bobby
are just in it
Kotick
for
is just a
money.
big fucking Jew.
Dirty capitalists.
Well, if you look at it though, and how much they're selling, of course they're going to do it for that much money. Why?
Yeah.
Because they're making that much fucking money.
I mean, shit, yeah, if I was Bobby Kotick, I'd be doing the same thing.
I'm Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
don't think
back
it's
on.
entirely Call of Duty's fault though, because Resident Evil 4 wasn't that scary itself.
It wasn't scary, but if you look at how that game is played and how great that game is, and you know this is one, I think mine and yours, like, that's how we met. We were like, dude, you play Resident Evil 4?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's just one of those games. It's so good that, like, just it's not scary, but the idea of it is scary. I mean, think about how you're placed. You're on an island. You're the only American other than Ashley, and she's pretty much worthless. And you're fighting hordes and hordes of zombies, and you barely have any ammo.
The only true American in a sea of immigrants.
See, Mitt Romney style.
Romney Ryan 2012.
And a lot of people will credit Resident Evil 4 with the death of the entire genre, which is odd for me.
Well, look at like Dead Space, which are heavily inspired on it. Like the whole camera angle, aiming, and everything.
Yeah.
And even, I can go to say that Resident Evil 4 inspired third-person shooters like Gears of War.
Oh, it definitely did. If you go back and play third-person shooters before Resident Evil 4, they're really shitty. Like, none of them are good. Like, none of them are over the shoulder like that. Most of them are kind of spaced behind with the camera. And a lot of them were just, the cover systems didn't work. It wasn't intricate gaming. It was just, blah, blah, you dead, haha.
Yeah.
With Resident Evil 4, they were like, let's make this shit etiquette.
What were some third-person shooters pre-RES4?
There's this one that I had in mind, and I cannot recall what it was.
GTA 3, if you want to count it.
Like GTA
Grand Theft
3.
Auto, that's true.
The Splinter Cell games.
Oh yeah.
They were more stealth action based, but they are technically third person.
I don't think GTA was really. I personally like the Grand Theft Auto. I didn't think the camera angle was that bad.
Just for the
Well, they
aiming
had an
though,
auto aim.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah, that's true. They didn't have. Actually, they did have. You know, whenever you use like an assault rifle, you can't auto aim, but then it zooms into first person. So yeah, I guess that really doesn't apply here.
I think the Metal Gear series, Metal Gear Solid, not Metal Gear. The third person of that was they knew that they couldn't do third person. So when you go to shoot your gun, you go to first person. So I think that Resident Evil 4, like you said, was one of the first things for third person shooters.
Revolutionized it.
Revolutionizing, baby. Okay, guys, we're gonna start our mic and go down. Favorite survival horror? Let's do this, Mike.
Survival horror.
And why?
Huh?
And why?
And why? I'm gonna have to go with Dead Space 2 because it's one of the only ones I've played and remember well.
Oh, you faggot.
I'm sorry. I don't
picked the wrong
remember
thing.
my Resident Evil 4 days.
How dare you have a different opinion? Okay, Andrew, you go.
I would have to say, because I can't really think at the moment, either Resident Evil Code Veronica. I know not all the Resident Evil fans like that one, but it was pretty much the first one I played, like, intensively.
That pacing,
So that
dude.
one. What was that?
The pacing in that game is so horrible.
Yeah.
So long and drawn out.
But I could also say Silent Hill 2, even though I probably only played like half an hour of it. But I remember that half an hour so well because I was just so terrified.
Didn't it just scare the shit out of us? Oh my
It
god.
does. We played at daylight and we were still terrified.
And, like, I went back and played it, and I beat it, and I got through that game, and I was just like, whoa, this game's a shit. Okay, Bill, your go.
I've never really been into survival horror games. Most of the horror games that I play would be like no, I don't want to say shitty, but they're really low quality. Not overall, just visually. It'd be games like Yume Nikki, and that one spin-off game from it that I can't really name right now.
What are those games?
Yume Nikki is a really atmospheric game. It was made in RPG Maker, which is surprising, but it's a good game.
Sounds sweet. I might want to go check it out.
I'll go ahead and tell you now. It's not really involving. It's really chilling. It's like listening to Boards of Canada. You just sort of sit there and move around and wait for something to happen. But it's still you get pretty wrapped up in the game.
Okay, favorite scary moment in a non-scary game? Talking like Half-Life, things along those lines. Let's do this. Mike, you first.
Come back around to me. I'm gonna think about that one.
My arm!
That scared the shit out of me.
Favorite what game? You got cut off.
Just a non-scary title, like something that's not a horror, but you just got scared in the game itself.
BioShock, the first one.
What part specifically
Like
do
in
you
the beginning, when you like are just starting, you don't know what's going on pretty much.
Oh god.
And those guys are like just banging on the submarine thing.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Oh, and that motherfucker in the ice chamber that just sort of jumps out and
Scares the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And will kill you your
that
first
game
go
kind
around.
of had a creepy atmosphere in general.
It's a good game.
Alright, Bill, your go.
Probably the one guy in Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time when you're in the under the well getting the lens of truth, and that fucking white fucker just fucking scares you.
Fuck.
Oh my god, that game, and then my game that I'm gonna pick is Majora's Mask, because Majora's Mask literally frightened me so much as a child I could not beat it, and I had to go back and beat it like 2 years ago because it just scared the shit out of me. There's so many scary things in that fucking game, like specifically
The
like
mask changing animations.
the mask changing animations, and the fact that every single mask you get is from someone that's dead. That really creeped me out when I was little.
And the fact that you can never save anyone, no matter how hard you can never save everyone, no matter how hard you try.
Because of the time gap, and it's a really fucking psychological game, and that game's fucking amazing, and everyone should go check it out. Okay, Mike, do you have yours?
Yes. Everybody kind of calls
My
me a bitch.
arm!
No, well, not that part, but Half-Life / Black Mesa. Now that's come out.
My arm!
No, the fucking tadpole thing. The ichthyosaur or something. Every time, I don't care how many times I do it. I always forget for whatever reason, but that thing just scares me every time.
Getting in that shark cage, I think, is the part that's scary, because it falls, it falls a little bit, and you're like,
going to fall.
oh shit, and then it falls into the water, you're like, oh my god!
I mean, but you knew the thing was supposed to fall because there wasn't exactly a way out. I mean, the part earlier in the game where you go on the elevator and it just fucking shakes and then it falls and you can hear Goran just sort of to himself. That was a lot scarier in my opinion.
I really thought the shark thing was scary because, like you said, you know that there's no way out. But me being a human, when I got in there, it shifted down. I was like, oh shit, I need to look for a way out. So I panic and I'm starting to look for a way out, and it fucking falls again, and there's a fucking huge thing coming at me trying to kill me.
Just in this dark brown water.
God damn it.
It only takes like 3 crowbar hits to kill that thing, if I counted right.
Aren't you cool? I just shoot it with the crossbow because that works.
Casual.
Fucking filthy casual.
2 hits with the crossbow.
Alright, so I think we've dragged this one on long enough. This was a pretty good run-through for our first podcast, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm quite with it.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is LOM Gaming signing off!
Later,
Bye.
niggas.
Goodbye.
Bye.